Hello there, my watchers. This is I, Civilian, and welcome to the Insmouth case. This is a murder, I believe this is a mystery game based off of H.P. Lovecraft's book. We will be going through it today for your viewing pleasure. Now, sit back and enjoy the ride. Boston, Massachusetts, your office. Alright, and we're in. We're fans of the strange world of Insmouth, but we recognize the problematic beliefs of H.P. Lovecraft. This game has been produced by a group of people who believe in inclusion and equality. That's quite nice. Thank you, Robotic Pumpkin Games and Assemble Entertainment. Progress story will be saved at the end of each chapter. There are 35 chapters in total. At the end of a chapter, screen fades to black and a green save icon appears at the bottom right of the screen. Yes, thank you. Okay. Alright, Boston, the 21st of September. The last rays of sunshine filter through the blinds of your empty office. The pathetic stench of whiskey, cold cigarette smoke, and canned ravioli fills the air. The screeching tires and constant beeping of car horns out there on the street tells you that it's gone 8 p.m. People are on their way home, finishing their day. You should join them. See it? Go home or stay at my desk? I'll stay at my desk. Your day was long and frustrating. You are running out of ideas of how to handle the calls of people who want money from you. A cold shiver runs down your spine as you flick through a pile of unpaid bills. On the top of the pile is a reminder from your landlady you're 2 months behind on the rent. Yikes. That sucks. The next one is a 3-figure invoice from a games company for in-app purchases. You try to claim them as business expenses in your last investigation, but somehow your client refuses to pay. There's a second reminder from your internet provider threatening to cut off your connection. You might take legal action because without the internet you can't work or live. Fair enough. You really need your lawyer, a cigarette, a little fresh air, more in purchase. I'm gonna take a little more fresh air. Might as well get the smell of whiskey and cigarette smoke out of my office. Okay. You jerk open the blinds. Amongst the dust, the last rays of light shine into your eyes like a laser sight in a spy flick. It takes a few seconds before your eyes to adjust. Your gaze settles upon the Horns and Hooves pub across the street. Sir, use a drink. How many simple jobs this dive has given you? Jealous wives whose husbands you had to spy on. All you had to do was lie in wait at the window and take pictures of them coming out of the dirtiest hole in town. You close the window before you see anyone you know. You breathe a deep sigh. It may not have been a successful day, but at least it's over. You're looking forward to a classic Friday night, watching old mystery series at home in sweatpants and getting drunk on cheap booze. Damn, that sounds quite nice. Since the early afternoon, you've been staring at the foreboding bottle of liquor at the other end of the room. Up until now, a vague sense of professionalism has kept you from drinking yourself into oblivion. Now nothing stands in the way. Suddenly, you hear someone at the door. Who is it? The door slowly cracks open with a timid creak. An unknown guest pauses. Then, in a breathy and melodic tone, you hear a woman utter, "Hello?" Your insides crack. You suddenly realize that you haven't cleaned your office at all this year. You quickly try and invite her in. Oh, hello, miss. By the light of this lamp, you now see more than a silhouette. A breathtaking woman lights up your office. No doubt older than 40, maybe even 50, hard to say. Clad in black and skin-tight dress, culminating in a décolleté that seems to defy the laws of gravity. Damn! I can say that, right? A smoky eyeshadow as dark as algae washed ashore. Blonde, coiffed, wavy hair under a dark beret. The faint light of the setting sun catches in the strands of her hair, and you wonder how many heads this woman must have turned during her prime. She's completely different from usual customers. Nervous bankers with sweat stains under their armpits convince their wives of something going on with the mailman. Even every move she makes is calculated grace. Smooth as an eel, she walks towards you and sits down on the corner of your desk. Determined, she walks towards you and sits down on the corner of your... Okay. Which is a little bold, which makes you blush. Bit bold. Which is a little bold without asking you first, but as a professional, you're not giving anything away. She seems to want to play the seductive damsel in distress. The quiet, amused voice of your subconscious is pleased that the stranger may be sharing your enthusiasm for film noir cliches. A far louder voice is surprised that this woman seems to think that a sexy pose in revealing clothes could win you over, and both voices agree that they don't like being manipulated. You don't think that the stranger perched on your table is trying to recover from a hard working day as a lingerie model, and therefore you see no logical reason for her behavior. Then why? You see, when she begins to speak, her voice is smoky and full of promise. My name is Delia Marsh. I am looking for a private investigator. I was told you are one of the best. She extends her hand. You can... Kiss her hand. Let's be very smooth, hopefully. You kiss her hand and waggle your eyebrows in the same manner you've seen so often in those classic movies. This woman moves in the higher circles and is used to luxury. You can tell by the strong smell of caviar she gives off. If you play this right, you might even be able to increase the fee for this case. Get down to business. It's about my daughter. She has disappeared. Tabitha, you're pulling out paper and pencil. This is going to be a walk in the park. A walk in the kidnapped kids park. Well, when did you last see her and where? The woman puts on a fake smile. We live in Insmouth. It's a small port town north of Arkham. You frown. This is a bit vague. What was your child doing when you last saw her? What hobbies does she have? Oh, you know, kid stuff. They just run around and play with their yo-yos and that sort of thing. Not very descriptive, are you, lady? She nervously combs her hands through her hair. Does your daughter have any friends? Does your daughter have any friends that you might be staying with? Classmates? Sport club members? Anything like that? Delilah silently shakes her head. Very strange. You're about to ask if the girl at least had imaginary friends, but you hold back. What about her father? What about Tabitha's father? Are you separated? Often children reappear with family members. My little one can't swim well enough for that yet. Okay. Your pen remains at the same spot. What is that supposed to mean? Dig a bit deeper. Excuse me, but what the hell do you mean by that? Kids can't swim enough? Ella turns up her nose. She doesn't seem comfortable with asking personal questions. Still, she responds, "Oh, just an old saying in our village." She smiles, but it doesn't reach her eyes. Delilah turns her gaze away from you and looks dreamily no longingly out the window. Her father was a fisherman, like most of the village. A few years ago, he went out to sea but never returned. His boat was washed ashore weeks later. His colleagues told me that he had finally followed the call of the waves. You keep quiet for a moment. Deceased family members are always a sensitive subject. My sincere condolences. Oh, somehow. She seems calm. Oh, somehow. I always knew that moment would come. I think my husband is in a better place now, and at some point, I'll join him. Take a closer look at Delilah's outfit. Judging by her behavior and clothes, you never would have taken her to be a fisherman's wife. Bit sus and suspicious. You inquire about more details of the case. What is yo-yos? Hold on, yo-yos? Ring ring? Can you hear that? It's the 90s calling, and they want their outdated toys back. Delilah blushes. Normally, you would find this quite attractive, but the case of missing girl beckons, and you're utterly unconvinced by the way this woman pretends to be a mother. I could confront her. I'm gonna let the matter rest for now. This lady probably won't win the Mother of the Year award, but that's not your problem. At least she seems to have money. To profit from it, you should probably go easy on her. What does your daughter look like? She's only 8, and the sweetest girl you can imagine. She's been missing without a trace since last week. None of her schoolmates have seen her, and no one knows where she went. She might have gone. She hands you a photo. Look, this is my little munchkin. Dear God. Good heavens, is this supposed to be a joke? Is that really the face of a child, or a shoddy photo edit? Are you being filmed as part of a reality TV show? A bit of stomach acid and last bite of lunch slowly but surely makes their way up into the back of your mouth. Jesus, this girl's ugly. Throw up into a drawer of your desk. Swallow it. Damn, okay. She didn't look that ugly in the photo. Jesus. With narrow eyes, a small, the bile, and the embodied pool of face, Delilah continues to look in hopefully. She obviously didn't notice your little mishap. That was close and could have been unpleasant. I'm so desperate. Her eyes lock with yours. Don't you think there's something strange about your child? Taking your life into your hands, you ask the mother. You think something strange about your daughter? It's called puberty. You should try it sometime. Also, this has nothing to do with the case. Okay then. Alright, I'll back up. I want to get fucking paid. I need to pay my rent, damn it. Okay, you fall silent. The woman's face has turned red with rage. Have you been too honest with this time? Was your family right all along when they told you that honesty was not always the best policy? Are you going to take the case or not? Request more information. I have no further question. You mumble more to yourself than to her. Delilah stretches her neck imperceptibly. No doubt she would like to take a look at your notebook. Your pen hovers over the notes you've taken. Missing daughter, dodgy lady. That's it. You've worked with less. I'll accept your case. I'll be your lug, miss. In the missing person's case, nothing unusual. The conventional little girl runs away from home after reading her first romance novel. Usually they hide at the edge of the forest or in a library. Should be pretty straightforward. Before Dee can say anything, she drops a photo of the child and rolls the bills on your hand for your expenses. You nod slowly. Try not to drool down the front of your shirt. You haven't seen this much money in ages. Did she just give me like $1,000? Hang on. How much cash did she just hand me? You don't have much time to prepare. A quick search reveals that only one bus goes to Insmouth, and only once a day. A pattern emerges in your research. The few new items related to this little coastal town are all about missing persons. In addition, you find some rather old-fashioned articles that praise the coastal town as a secret holiday destination. The best fish, untouched beach, promenade. Authentic fishing people are recurring buzzwords. Delilah has given you the address at which you're supposed to drop off her daughter. As soon as you find her, she also wrote down her phone number as on the child's photo. Take another look at the picture before you pack your things. So, okay, wait, what was her name? Next morning you travel by bus! Might as well. I am not walking 50 miles into the middle of nowhere. Thank you very much. Your journey begins at a busy bus station. There's supposed to be a bus line that departs from here to Insmouth. Buses, you think to yourself, are not only an environmentally friendly means of transportation, they're also easy on your wallet. Sadly, the departure boards aren't of much help. New York, Maine, Rhode Island, no trace of Insmouth as a destination. You wander around for a while and they notice a cleaner eating a sandwich on the side of one of the vending machines. I'll talk to the cleaner. Excuse me, we're gonna find a bus to Insmouth. Without letting go of sandwich, the cleaner points to an abandoned counter in the dingiest corner that a public bus station could be capable of. The man gives you a nod, indicating that anything that can be said has indeed been said. You'll find that the counter is elaborately decorated with cobwebs. It's a bit early for Halloween preparations, but at least someone made an effort. At the moment, nobody seems to be there. You press your face against the plastic window to peer into the room behind. Hello? Hello? Is anyone there? I have to go to Insmouth. No one. Suddenly, out of nowhere, a bus ticket appears on the counter. Might the trip be free? Just take the ticket. Yoink! And not likely the ticket was already on the counter and you simply hadn't noticed it before. Someone must have paid and just left it there. This is what you tell yourself while you are looking for the departure gate with a ticket in your hand. Where is this bus hiding? In between the polished greyhounds and travelers stowing in their luggage, saying goodbye and dropping entirely into their seats, there's a kind of dumpster. A dumpster with windows and wheels. No, it's actually a bus. It's a bit on the rusty side, and even from a distance, you sense the strange smell it emits. Is that sulfur? Oh dear God, this is a bus to hell. You're not convinced how this thing is supposed to drive. In its vicinity, everything is noticeably quieter than at the other bus stops. Then people getting on shows no signs of emotion. Nobody's trying to jump the queue here. Instead, the passengers move past the bus driver at a uniform speed, one after the other, shuffling up the creaking steps. Each two-seater bench is occupied by individuals, as if they want to make sure not to come into contact with their fellow passengers. The sign clearly says Insmouth. No departure times, no stopovers, just Insmouth. On the bus. What? I have a ticket! Undecided, you're standing on the stairs of the bus. Let's talk to the driver. You stop. The passengers behind you wait patiently. It's impossible to make contact with the driver. He stares rigidly at the steering wheel. After all, he seems to be focused driving. Excuse me, sir. No reaction. You look over your shoulder, and still people in line behind you remain calm. Show your ticket. You have the driver the ticket. No reaction. At least you can't make out the reaction. A lightning spore or the shadow of his face does the driver's scalp covers almost his entire face. You notice something strange on his neck, but you can't quite make it out what it might be. You're standing in the door waiting for, okay, not anything. The sulfur odor has increased. A queue has formed behind you, but no one is pushing or complaining. People wait quietly and patiently. Just keep walking. You shuffle sideways to the center aisle. You don't remember the bus looking this long from the outside. You're surrounded by shabby two-seater benches, and some are already occupied. One traveler per row. The last bench is free. Looks like the upholstery torn in some places though, or has it been slit open. You can see springs with sharp wire edges, and some sticky liquid seems to have leaked onto the floors. Why didn't you just sit down on one of the free rows? Here in the back, almost everything is occupied. Most of the managers seem to have purposefully sat down in the aisle seats, blocking out off the window seats. Maybe this is an opportunity to get a little closer to the common Insmouth visitor. Let's sit down with someone. A nonconformist, you join one of the passengers in a double seat. Since only one man was so considerate as to sit at the window, your options are limited anyways. As far as you can tell, the man is haggard-figured with barely any luggage. The hood of the gray jumper pulled far onto his face. The man looks out onto the street as if something very important is happening there that requires his attention. Is that seat taken? You ask politely. He turns his head, gives you a brief once-over. Without saying a word, he turns away again. Sit down anyways. Alright, that wasn't a no either. You sit down and regret it instantly. The smell of sulfur is now overpowered by something else. Something that smells like it's been in the sun for too long. That does not sound good. Do I have a gun? I don't think it told me if I had a gun, but I might need a gun. Possibly a machine gun. Shotgun? I'd take a shotgun. Try to catch a glimpse of what's under the hood. Does this person have a genetic defect? Or is he malnourished? You're not sure exactly where the problem might be, but you're trying to stay professional. Talk to the stranger next to you. This is a chance to get some inside information. Do small talk about veganism. Look the passenger over. Let's play the tourist. That might get me something. Whoa. If we speak twitching of a slight tremor, the man turns to you. Excuse me, I'm visiting Insmouth for the first time. Do you happen to come from here there? A twitch is all you get. Maybe you should get right to the point. That man's looking awfully fishy. Just can't seem to place my finger on what's wrong here. I could mention the missing girl. Fuck it. Wait, no, okay. Ask for a few tourism tips. Does Insmouth have any sights? A neighbor stares in the middle distance. Is he thinking? The silence between the two of you is hardly bearable. The beach, he finally stutters. Your eyes meet again. The old town, he adds. Well, that could have gone worse. Small talk has been grueling slow, so you decide to let it go. This ride is taking forever. The bus leaves the country road and turns off at the wooden sign that says Insmouth. I'm beginning to think that maybe I should have hitchhiked. So that way, at least people wouldn't have known I was here in the first place. Oh, too late now. The journey continues rather bumpily along a narrow dirt road littered with numerous potholes. In the distance, some houses are already visible, seagulls circling the roofs of their outermost edge of the city. Slowly, all passengers take their bags out from under the seats and get ready. Curiously, you look through the front window or the side window. The side window. That's odd. The bus passes by a huge, what's this? A scrapyard parking lot? Why would something like this be here right outside the city? You're passing under a wooden sign whose half-peeled writing advertises Insmouth Park and Ride Area. A lot of cars look like they've been sitting here for years. Sand covered some bonnets and windscreens. Of course, sand covers some of the bonnets and the windscreens. The front door of the bus opens with a squeak, and you join the monotonous line of locals, stepping out of the bus as if in a daze. Almost walking in steps, you all get closer to the exit. As you walk down the steps, you have to protect your eyes from the sunlight. Turns out the windows of the bus were tinted. The other passengers shuffle off. Alright, we're in Insmouth now. Alright, we finally made Insmouth. Unkilled! Finally, Insmouth. You examine your surroundings while you stretch your legs trying to unwind from the stressful journey. No artists could have adequately captured the serenity and beauty of this place. A clear blue sky lights up the town square, which is paved with bright limestone and surrounded by neo-colonial buildings, reminiscent of 19th century New England. A fresh sea breeze, crying seagulls, and locals going about their business. On the center of the square, water trickles down from a fountain. As you stretch your limbs and breathe in the clean air, you are suddenly startled by the water feature right in front of you. The fountain is enormous fish-like brass creature. An open jawline with shark-like fangs about brackish water down its massive and humanly contorted body. As if it wasn't enough, there appears to be human bodies squirming underneath its massive claws. The faces are contorted as yours is right now. How long have you been standing there? Eyes wide open in shock, you feel utterly paralyzed. You start to scan the town square and notice more and more disturbing details. On every corner you spot ornamental statues and reliefs of fish, but these are not your classic harmless kind of fish. These are pagan symbols and grimaces of supernatural creatures from the darkest crevices of the deep sea. In surrounding houses, you can see faces pressed against the window. All the locals appear to be watching you. Oh, dear God. You suddenly start to think that the cries of seagulls sound particularly human-like. They sound like humans crying out in pain. What happened to the idyllic scene from a few moments ago? Welcome to Insmouth. Turn around. Oh, hello, miss. Welcome to Insmouth. How nice of you to visit. A small elderly woman waves at you from afar. She beams at you as if you were her long-lost grandchild. She seems very different to the bores you've met so far. On the bus into the town, her squealing shakes you out of your nightmarish panic. It's so good to have you here. I've noticed you've been taken by our local fountain. It was built in 1704 by Abdul Nakotis, favorite artist and friend of Charles Dexter Tillinghast, the founder of Insmouth. The central figure was a present and it was supposed to be the oh my god, okay. A commemorate that travels together in Cairo. Why can I say Cairo, but I can't say commemorate? Wow, this is going to be a long episode. The points widely in every direction, and here, but I'm sure you're already noticed this yourself. You look like someone who knows his way around art, she says with a smile, wide smile. You're still in shock. She beamed at you. Who the hell are you? Well, of course, I am an art historian. I'm an art historian, of course. She enthusiastically starts clapping and squealing. A small, plump person in a garish costume who finishes off all their sentences with a delightful chuckle. Oh, I noticed that. At once. How rude of me. I haven't even introduced myself. My name's Muriel. Pooping Place. That's a weird fucking name. Okay. I am the director of Parks Commission Chief, Tourism Officer, and head of the Welcoming Committee. Ta-da! Well, at least you don't look... Oh wait, that's the fountain in the background. Okay. Jesus, lady, put on a bra. Behind Muriel, the ramshackle wooden information stand, lovingly decorated with balloons. A colorful painted sign reads, "Welcome to Insmouth." Muriel tiptoes over to her information stand and picks up a whole load of flyers. The leaflets from the rickety display cases. She looks down at the wallpaper in her arm and briefly shrieks with laughter. My goodness. My goodness, why don't you take this same map to begin with? Useful. You take the map and put it into your coat pocket. Would you like to find out more about our wonderful town, which has been awarded the East Coast Stunning Town Award for several years in a row? Sure. Actually, I'm looking for someone. Here I am. A small plump woman starts giggling. Insmouth welcomes you warmly. So, you're looking for someone. It's not uncommon for two lonely hearts to find one another in this romantic place. Mention the missing girl. I'm looking for this girl. It's always about girl, ain't it? Tabitha Marsh, 8 years old. Her mother asked me to take on the case. You take out the photo and Muriel immediately rips it out of your hand. Oh, what a cutie. But I'm sorry to say I've not heard anything about the missing girl. How awful. This sort of thing doesn't happen in Insmouth. Perhaps you have a look around the beach or on the playground. There are a lot of kids around here. I'm sure that's where the little one will be. With an unnaturally wide grin, she hands you back the photo, turns around quickly, and makes her way over to the accost another tourist family. Bye, Muriel! You head further into town along the cobbled road into the direction of the coast. Not long ago, the town was bright in the sky, but already the first wafts of mist are creeping into the streets. The air feels thicker, and the sun can no longer penetrate the fog. Time to think about where you want to go. You slow down. You lean your briefcase against the wall, start pacing up and down the quiet alleyway. You got an important choice to make right now. City center is north. Even from afar, you can see the outlines of the old and ornately decorated buildings in the main town square. Here, you should find the police station, the main shopping street, and of course, the town hall. The coastal town, Insmouth, also has a harbor. From your research, you found out that this is a bustling area with a dreamy beach. You expect there to be mostly tourists. According to your research, the only hotel in town is the Gilman Hotel. Gilman. It's located in the old town. If you think about checking in, you could do with freshening up and getting rid of that bus smell that's still clinging to your clothes. Just as you're about to set off, your heart leaps into your throat. You've forgotten your briefcase. This has never happened to you. You usually take good care of the little you possess. There's nothing you can do about this now. You have to wait until your return journey to find out whether someone has handed it in the lost and found. Still, you can swear the briefcase was already gone when you got off the bus. That can't be good. Well, I could go looking, or I could check in. I'm going to the city center. Might as well get a lay of the main, town. And I think this is where we will end it. We're about to investigate the town square. And from there, who knows? This was Civilian, my friends, and I will be signing off. Bye-bye!